With Black Friday fast approaching, people are already jumping over to Reddit to ask the same question over and over again: will the Quest 3 be on sale for Black Friday? People, of course, on Reddit replying with different degrees of hostility, from helpful to just annoyed. Some people actually bring up how HSN, the homeshoppingnetwork.com, you can actually stack their typical 50 off your first $100 purchase, a website I've never actually bought anything off of, but if any of you out there have gotten that to work, I'd love to hear about it. But most people agreeing that there really is no way to know, but it's unlikely this soon after launch that we'll get any real sales on the Quest 3. We might see something similar, like at launch we saw a Costco bundle which sold out pretty quickly, where Costco was offering the Quest 3, the 128GB model, with an Elite strap, not battery, and a case, and a $25 Meta gift card, all for $599, which saves you $125. But if you're still interested in the Quest 2, there's already a price cut, dropping it down to $250 in what they're calling a limited time festive deal, not exactly an early Black Friday deal. That 128GB Quest 2 is down from $300 to $250, and of course the 256 is down from $350 to just $300. If you're looking for an extra Quest 2 at this point, that could be worth the price difference, although if you buy one used, you can find them a lot cheaper. Pimax at least giving us what they are calling a Black Friday VR deal, saving up to $540 on their bundles for the Crystal. But that is off the most expensive bundle, which is the one with the Lighthouse faceplate and their sword kit. If you want just the Crystal, you can save $160, and there's a bunch of different bundle and options for savings for Pimax I'll leave on the screen here if you're interested. Are you holding out for Black Friday to possibly get yourself a VR headset, or is there something else tech that you really want to get? I'd love to know in the comments. Is there another Meta headset already coming out in the beginning of 2024? According to a new report from the Wall Street Journal, yes. This headset would initially be aimed at China. China's been a market that for a long time has pushed Meta out, although they're in early talks with Tencent, the world's largest video game company, and they would be the exclusive seller of the Meta headsets in China. Keep in mind, these are early reports, so take them with a grain of salt. Although this report goes on to say that the companies have been in talks for about a year negotiating this deal, and while this report didn't give any specific mentions of the lower priced headset or what it would mean, it has been speculated that they would be making something similar to the Quest 3 but without the pancake optics, saving a lot on the cost by using the old Fresnel style lenses. We've of course also been reporting on all the rumors of a Meta Quest Lite that could be coming that had that same possible spec of using the old Fresnel style lenses and not even having controllers, bringing it down to a price point of potentially $200 to $300. This is a pretty big deal though for Meta to possibly get back into China after they've been fighting so much with that, especially as we're seeing some changes over at Pico we'll talk about later in the news. Andrew Bosworth in another AMA was talking about the potential of bringing all Android flat apps over to the Meta Quest. Boss said that we would love for Google to bring their Play Store of apps to VR. We've asked them, they don't want to do it. This of course after we were just reporting of how Pico has added a flat version of TikTok over to its headsets as it's owned by the same parent company. There's no clear answer of why they wouldn't want to bring these over, as it could potentially mean more sales for paid apps, although of course if it required any more work that may not be worth the investment, as we've seen even flat versions of VR apps like Netflix and Hulu that have came over years ago. Some of them ended up eventually canceling their app in VR, or at least not updating it, where a lot of them you see some very old controllers still when you go into them from previous generations of headsets. That said, is there any flat app you can think of out there that you'd really want to use in VR? I sometimes find it's really cool now with the pass-through to sit back and watch a YouTube video or something while I'm in the headset, but that's more when I'm taking a break between a VR game rather than something I would do just put the headset on and play it. Valve has given some confirmation that at least they are still working on VR. A lot of Valve Index owners have been waiting for the answer to upgrade from their Index, and it's possibly come through other companies with headsets like the Varjo Aero or now the Big Screen Beyond, but we still don't know if the Valve Deckard is really coming. If you don't know about the Deckard, that is a code name for a potential future VR headset, one that might even be fully wireless, just tethered to the PC through Wi-Fi. And at least while talking to Norman Chan of Tested, the company revealed they're still pushing forward on VR. They said unfortunately this time they don't have anything new to announce yet, but they are working on it, and this does tie in with the fact that we've seen Steam VR even getting a new facelift and some updates, and they mentioned how the Steam Deck being wireless and having streaming is something that may also be applicable to VR, and they're learning from that. I know after first hearing of the Deckard, that was really exciting for a lot of us out there, and it seems like it's just been so long it's starting to feel kind of like Half-Life 3. But this brings back a little hope for me. How about you? If you've already got your iPhone 15 Pro in advance of the Apple Vision Pro, you can start taking some spatial video now on it for when you get that headset. This is something in iOS 17.2 beta, and you do have to go into the settings, turn on the spatial video capture in settings, camera formats, and then you're capturing spatial videos in video mode in the camera app. Doing this actually adds a new Vision Pro icon to it, and then it instructs you to rotate the phone sideways into a landscape view and locks it to a 1080p 30 FPS. This is actually actually having the phone capture 2 video streams from different lenses, and then the footage is compared and processed to add depth information to the final video. Unfortunately, for now, if you try to review the video, it's going to still look monoscopic, and you're going to have to wait for that Vision Pro to actually see what the video looks like with depth. It's an interesting idea to get this out before the holidays, though. For people who really want one of these headsets, you might be able to take some of your Christmas unwrapping videos and go back and watch them spatially. For the PlayStation VR 2 fans out there, PlayStation VR 2 actually won a Golden Joystick Award. They won Hardware of the Year prize at the Joystick Awards. It's exciting for PSVR, although the category's kind of an odd one, with the hardware nominees being things like the Samsung 990 Pro hard drive, the Nitro Deck, a Turtle Beach headset, Asus ROG keyboard, and even an Alienware monitor. Either way, I love seeing VR get out in front of other people that wouldn't normally get exposed to it as much, so I think it's a good thing. But what do you think? For those of you who got a PSVR 2, how are you feeling about it? How much are you playing it? Pico, the popular VR headset that's still only available in the EU and Asia, is unfortunately saying that it's laying off hundreds of its staff as it's refocusing it on hardware and getting rid of a lot of its software division. They unfortunately said their expectations were too optimistic. Some staff are getting cut altogether, but some are actually getting put back into ByteDance's larger product development team. ByteDance, of course, also the owner of TikTok. This may actually be good news against all of the rumors that Pico might actually quit making VR headsets altogether, and a refocus on hardware could be good for the company. It's still a headset that's hard to get in the US, and even if you do get it, you have to use a VPN to get around and get the app working on it. It's going to be interesting to see how Meta moving back into the China market may affect Pico's stronghold there. Lastly, for those of you who still haven't entered, we've got 2 giveaways going on that end this month. One, we are buying somebody a Quest 3 ourselves. It's not provided by Meta, but Varjo reached out and offered to give away one of their premium PCVR headsets to somebody on our channel as well. I'll leave links in the description, the comments, in case you haven't got entered in those already. Last month was huge. Thanks to all of you. This month continues to be huge, so thank you once again, and I will see you in another reality.